Welcome to LazyBud GK One-Liner, your smart stop for quick, easy and powerful GK. Today's Class 3 covers the tripartite struggle and regional politics. Let's begin. Section 1. Background of the tripartite struggle. Question 1. What was the tripartite struggle in early medieval Indian history? Answer. It was a prolonged political conflict among the Palas, Gurjara Pratiharas, and Rashtrakutas for control over the city of Kannauj. Question 2. In which century did the tripartite struggle for Kannauj begin? Answer. The struggle began in the 8th century CE. Question 3. Why was Kannauj geographically important in early medieval North India? Answer. Kannauj was located in the Ganga plains and linked major political and trade networks of North India. Question 4. Which earlier ruler made Kannauj a symbol of imperial authority in North India? Answer. Harshvardhana made Kannauj politically prestigious as his imperial capital. Question 5. Which dynasty first ruled Kannauj after the death of Harshvardhana? Answer. The Ayodhya dynasty initially ruled Kannauj after Harsha's death. Question 6. Who was the last ruler of the Ayodhya dynasty of Kannauj? Answer. Indrayudha was the last Ayodhya ruler of Kannauj. Question 7. Which Pala ruler defeated Indrayudha and intervened in Kannauj politics? Answer. Dharmpala defeated Indrayudha and placed Chakrayudha on the throne of Kannauj. Question 8. What factor drew the Gurjara Pratiharas into the struggle for Kannauj? Answer. Pala expansion westward into the Ganga region threatened Pratihara political interests. Question 9. Which Gurjara Pratihara ruler initially opposed Dharmpala for control of Kannauj? Answer. Vatsaraja led the Pratihara resistance against Dharmpala. Question 10. Which Rashtrakuta ruler first intervened in North Indian politics during the struggle? Answer. Dhruv of the Rashtrakuta dynasty entered North Indian politics to assert supremacy. Section 2. Major phases of the tripartite struggle. Question 11. What characterized the first phase of the tripartite struggle for Kannauj? Answer. It involved conflict among Vatsaraja of the Pratiharas, Dharmpala of the Palas, and Dhruv of the Rashtrakutas. Question 12. Which ruler defeated both the Pala and Pratihara kings in the early phase of the struggle? Answer. Dhruv of the Rashtrakutas defeated both rivals around 790 CE. Question 13. Who succeeded Dhruv as the ruler of the Rashtrakuta dynasty? Answer. Govinda III succeeded Dhruv on the Rashtrakuta throne. Question 14. Which Rashtrakuta ruler led military campaigns deep into North India up to the Himalayas? Answer. Govinda III led campaigns up to the Himalayan region. Question 15. Which Gurjara Pratihara ruler reasserted control over Kannauj after Rashtrakuta withdrawal? Answer. Nagbhata II reasserted Pratihara authority over Kannauj. Question 16. Around which year did Nagbhata II capture Kannauj? Answer. Nagbhata II captured Kannauj around 815 CE. Question 17. Which Pala ruler opposed Nagbhata II's claim over Kannauj? Answer. Dharmpala opposed Nagbhata II. Question 18. Which Rashtrakuta ruler again invaded North India during Nagbhata II's reign? Answer. Govinda III invaded North India and defeated Nagbhata II. Question 19. What was the outcome of Govinda III's northern campaign? Answer. He temporarily established Rashtrakuta supremacy but soon withdrew to the Deccan. Question 20. Which Gurjara Pratihara ruler consolidated power after these conflicts? Answer. Mihira Bhoja consolidated Pratihara authority in North India. Section 3. Rise of Pratihara supremacy. Question 21. Under whose reign did the Gurjara Pratihara Empire reach its greatest extent? Answer. The empire reached its peak under Mihira Bhoja between c. 836 to 885 CE. Question 22. Which city served as the imperial capital of Mihira Bhoja? Answer. Kannauj served as his imperial capital. Question 23. Which deity was Mihira Bhoja devoted to? Answer. Mihira Bhoja was a devotee of Vishnu. Question 24. What title did Mihira Bhoja assume to express his religious devotion? Answer. He assumed the title Adivarha. Question 25. Which Pala ruler ruled contemporaneously with Mihira Bhoja? Answer. Devpala was Bhoja's contemporary. Question 26. Which Rashtrakuta ruler posed a challenge to Pratihara power from the Deccan? Answer. Amogvarsh IST challenged Pratihara authority. Question 27. Which ruler succeeded Mihira Bhoja and maintained Pratihara stability? Answer. Mahendrapala IST succeeded Bhoja and maintained imperial power. Question 28. What was the territorial extent of the Pratihara Empire at its height? Answer. It extended from Punjab to Bengal and from Gujarat to central India. Question 29. What caused the decline of Pratihara power after the 10th century CE? Answer. Internal feudal revolts and external invasions weakened the empire. Question 30. Which foreign writers praised the strength of the Pratihara military? Answer. Arab geographers such as Al-Masudi praised Pratihara military power. Section 4. The Pala Empire during the struggle. Question 31. Which Pala ruler revived imperial power after Dharmpala? Answer. Devpala revived and expanded Pala authority. Question 32. What was Devpala's major military achievement? Answer. He extended Pala influence into Assam and parts of Odisha. Question 33. Which regions were included in the Pala Empire at its peak? Answer. Bengal, Bihar, Nepal, and parts of Assam and Uttar Pradesh. Question 34. Which religious traditions received patronage from the Palas? Answer. Mahayana and Vajrayana Buddhism received royal patronage. Question 35. Which major Buddhist monastic centers flourished under Pala rule? Answer. Nalanda, Vikramshila, and Odantpuri flourished. Question 36. Which ruler succeeded Devpala and marked the beginning of Pala decline? Answer. Narayanpala succeeded Devpala. Question 37. Which dynasty eventually replaced the Palas in Bengal? Answer. The Sena dynasty replaced the Palas. Question 38. What was the main cause of Pala weakness during the tripartite struggle? Answer. Overexpansion and revolts by feudatory chiefs weakened the empire. Question 39. Which inscriptions provide information on Pala military campaigns? Answer. The Gaya and Nalanda copperplate inscriptions mention these campaigns. Question 40. How did Pala rule influence regions beyond India? Answer. Through Buddhist missions and cultural exchanges with Sri Lanka and Sumatra. Section 5. The Rashtrakutas in northern politics. Question 41. Which Rashtrakuta ruler first intervened in North Indian political affairs? Answer. Dhruv was the first Rashtrakuta ruler to intervene. Question 42. Which Rashtrakuta ruler achieved the greatest influence in North India? Answer. Govinda III achieved the greatest northern influence. Question 43. How far north did Rashtrakuta military campaigns extend? Answer. They reached the Ganga Valley and Himalayan foothills. Question 44. What was the capital city of the Rashtrakuta Empire? Answer. Manyakheta in present-day Karnataka. Question 45. Which language flourished under Rashtrakuta literary patronage? Answer. Kannada literature flourished. Question 46. Which Rashtrakuta ruler was a noted scholar and author? Answer. Amogvarsh IST authored Kavirjamarga. Question 47. What reduced Rashtrakuta involvement in North Indian politics? Answer. Continuous wars and revolts in the Deccan reduced their northern focus. Question 48. What was the long-term outcome of Rashtrakuta northern campaigns? Answer. They weakened rivals but failed to establish permanent control. Question 49. What form of governance characterized the Rashtrakuta state? Answer. A feudal monarchy with powerful vassals. Question 50. What was the Rashtrakutas' major contribution to Indian architecture? Answer. Construction of monumental rock-cut temples like the Kailasanath at Ellora. Section 6. Political impacts and outcomes. Question 51. What was the immediate political impact of the tripartite struggle in North India? Answer. Prolonged warfare prevented political unity. Question 52. How did the struggle affect smaller regional kingdoms? Answer. It enabled them to gain autonomy and political independence. Question 53. Which Rajput clans rose to prominence after the tripartite struggle? Answer. The Chauhans, Parmaras, and Chandelas rose in prominence. Question 54. Which new dynasty emerged in Gujarat after the struggle weakened major powers? Answer. The Solanki or Chalukya dynasty emerged. Question 55. Which Central Indian dynasty later built the Khajuraho temples? Answer. The Chandela dynasty of Bundelkhand. Question 56. How did the tripartite struggle influence administrative systems? Answer. It accelerated feudalization and administrative decentralization. Question 57. What cultural outcome resulted from prolonged regional rule? Answer. Growth of regional art styles, languages, and temple architecture. Question 58. Which dynasty held Kannauj for the longest duration during the struggle? Answer. The Gurjara Pratiharas held Kannauj the longest. Question 59. What did control over Kannauj symbolize in early medieval North India? Answer. Imperial legitimacy and dominance over the Ganga heartland. Question 60. What broader historical transition did the tripartite struggle represent? Answer. The shift from pan-Indian empires to powerful regional kingdoms.